Good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday, and you're listening to the Cindy Cochran Show. And it is so gorgeous here. It has been beautiful all weekend long. And you couldn't have asked for better weather. And you felt really guilty being inside. So all those of you that are still experiencing the snow, sorry about that. We are doing wonderful. So it has been a big weekend for everybody, I guess. Anybody that if they like basketball, it's been a big weekend, especially here in Houston, because we happen to be the host for the Final Four in the NCAA. And Jimmy the C is going to be talking to us about that and giving his analysis 10:15 after the 10:15 break. And, of course, it's Monday. And what does Monday equate? It means it is Jimmy the C, of course, and Lieutenant Bob Berry. Lieutenant Bob Berry, welcome. Good morning.
Good morning. It's a good Monday.
It is a good Monday. You didn't have a meeting or anything this morning?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you did? Lieutenant Bob Berry of the Conroe PD. What did y'all meet about? Can you tell us?
We have a lot of meetings.
Secret? Is it a secret?
It's top secret. I'd have to shoot you.
Oh, no. Go ahead, tell me. Just go ahead. I think I'm ready
to put you
to
out
shot.
of your misery.
I was so tired today because we just did so much this weekend. We were out so much outside, and then everybody's hyper. And it's hard to everybody get to sleep. So at 2:30 this morning, I finally went to sleep, and then the dog has to be up at 6:30, and so that wasn't smart. I didn't time that out at all. Smartly, but it was a good weekend, and I think that everybody mowed their lawn yesterday. I think it was Saturday. I think everybody mowed their lawn on Saturday, and they don't have little lawns where I live. It's like 5 acres or 8 acres and stuff like that you gotta mow. I mean, it's like serious business mowing. Now, do you have property, or do you have like a normal house?
Well, there's nothing normal at our house, but
well, if you live anywhere around here, nothing's normal. There's
yes. No, I actually have close to 5 acres.
That's what we are. And so you have your little riding lawnmower?
I do. Yeah.
Do you have a Kubota,
no.
whatever that is? You don't have that?
No, I don't. I do have a zero turn-in mower, though.
Yeah, those are so
absolutely
fun.
Wonderful.
Once you figure out where that zero starts and ends, it's great. And you have to do opposite of everything. So
actually, I spent the majority of my day Saturday doing in a irrigation valve, an extra one, for my garden in the back.
Oh, that's right. You're a gardening guy.
Yeah, I try.
Well, when you're a lieutenant in the police force, you have to have those activities and hobbies that kind of depress you. I mean, not depress.
Depress.
You. Yeah, depress you. You have to have those kind of things, and gardening does it for you.
Yeah, I do. We spend more money putting it together and getting it done than what we do pay for if we were to go to the store and buy it. But still, it's the ability to go out and do something, and it takes the stuff off your mind. It relaxes you.
That's right.
And you have somewhat fun with it. Now I'm really getting tired of dealing with this valve that's not working.
Oh, so that you decide today's my Lowe's day or my Home Depot day.
I'm on my way when I get done here. Yeah, I'm on my way. Oh yeah.
You're on your way.
Yeah.
Is Mondays your day off?
On my lunch hour.
Okay, I was going to say, if you have to...
I don't do it on time.
Okay, I know you wouldn't do that. You're not that kind of guy. But it is funny that you came here in your dungarees. What are those? Farmer Jones.
Yeah,
Farmer Jones stuff. I think that's going to give away to your boss.
I do have overalls, yes, believe it or not.
Do you wear overalls?
I do.
You got to take a picture of that. Do a selfie with you in your garden and send that.
Now, I don't have a straw hat or anything.
No,
I am looking for a good scarecrow, though.
You are. I didn't even know they even did scarecrows. I think because all the crows have evolved and they know better. They've read all the funny books. They see it, they see it on TV and all that. So they know it's not true. It's not going to scare them away.
I have crows, yeah.
Well, I have I have one of those guys, that you punching guys that looks like a person, but they don't have any arms. And you put him on one of those sand things. And we dress him up like he has a hoodie on and all that. And we put him, he's on the back porch. But I always thought, that would be a convincing scarecrow, I think, if you wanted to pay $200 or one of those guys. It would be fine. It would be good. So if you ever want to rent him, I'll rent him out to you if it gets bad enough. Okay. Because it has scared people. People have said, I went out in the back and and they walked close enough up to the property for doing something, and they saw him and they thought, when is he going to move? They thought maybe it was Sam standing out there or something. They could just see the shadow of the person, and it never moved. And so they got scared and thought somebody was casing the joint. I said, no, it's our guy. But so anyway, I wanted to ask you, did you read my post?
Unfortunately, no.
I just keep putting them up there. Nobody read them.
I worked on that valve until dark last night.
Well, and you have your own article that you have deadline that has to come out, right? When is your deadline for your article?
Thursdays.
You have to have it in by Thursday for it to come out on Sunday? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, Sunday, every Sunday. And the section that's in is what? Is it the same that like Mark has? The section that it's in the Courier?
Yeah, it's not on the front page. It's deeper into it, and probably in the I can't remember what the name is, but it's the
Trends?
The locals trends. There you go.
Yeah, Trends. Lieutenant Bob Berry has a column, and he talks about the safety and things that you should know about in law. But I had a question for everybody, and then in my own experience is, when do you call the police on your neighbors? What would your neighbor have to do for you to call the police on them? That was kind of the way that I stated it.
It depends on what they're doing.
Well, obviously, but I'm just saying
if they're screaming and yelling and beating each other. Yeah, that's
they're harming themselves. But if it's an annoyance type thing, they're annoying you with whatever is going on. When is the time to call the police? If you call the police on your neighbor, you can't stay anonymous, can you? If they say, who called on us, and do you have to tell them? Do you tell them?
Well, you might as well, because we capture when you call, we have the capture of the phone number, so we can actually trace it back to you. Even if it's the hard way, we can do it the hard way. But most of the time, we can still figure out who you are.
Well, I mean, would you tell? Although don't answer this. We'll do this when we come back from our break. But I did want to tell everybody that today in the 1097 paper, do you get that here, Richard? The 1097? Did you get it? Have you gotten for April yet?
No, they deliver. I think she publishes those on the first Wednesday of the month. So the 6th should be the date.
Well, she told me. I guess maybe in private. She said, check Monday. It'll be out in your stores Monday. So that's what she said. She said, I said, just thank you for you didn't, put it out on April 1st, because then it's hard to convince everybody. So anyway, I'm looking forward to that. Now you can pull it up online, but I don't think they've got it on. I don't think they have the April story yet online. But she said it should be in the stores. The 1097. Newspaper that is published just once a month. So that means if you do have an article about you, they've done a story on the show, that'll be there all month. So that's cool. I'm just waiting. It's funny when they, she says that, and I go like, wow, that's in there all month, and what you've got a month to work on, like get the next one started. But how that does with things that are real time sensitive, that's got to be difficult to handle, but they do good, and they put so many pictures. There's so many pictures of kids and stuff. That's the way to get that thing popular, is because all the family will send it to relatives and send it to everybody if they do a story on them. I know that's what I'm going to do, but to be able to go online and see a paper is so. It's like, why would you ever buy a paper? I'm sorry, Courier, but if everything's there and you can go and look up all the articles and all that stuff, then why would you stop by and get something? Except to hang it up on, which I will, to hang it up on the wall that there's an article about you. I told I told Cindy, I said, now, Cindy, you can go tell all your friends that your grandma is going to be in that paper that they get in Willis. And she said, my friends don't read the newspaper, Grandma. I'm sorry. I'll just have to tell them about it. And I went, oh, okay,
it's
that's
all
fine.
On the
That's
internet.
true. That's exactly right. I didn't think about it. We don't get a newspaper, so they don't see anything coming in and us sitting, the chair and opening a big newspaper or something like they used to. And the Chronicle's so small now. I went and picked up a Chronicle. The Sunday's a little fatter, but the regular Chronicle, I could, hold like this. And I'm like, good grief, you guys. I must not be doing very well. I mean, it's the only paper that Houston really, I think, has that everybody would read. But it, too, is on the internet. So everything is there. So I don't know how they keep them stay in business. And poor little paper boys that used to have to go get their own money. Did you ever throw papers?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
But they are pretty much out now.
I think so. I think
those days are gone.
Yeah, we're gonna just think, your kids are gonna be telling their grandchildren, you used to have to go buy a paper, and they go, you went to a store? Oh yeah, there's no stores anymore. You order it all online. So it's like, where do you get your Starbucks coffee? Well, it comes packed and then you put it in the microwave. No, but it has changed a lot. We have got to go to break. Seems like we just started talking, right? Mm-hmm. I think I was almost a song late this morning. So anyway, we will be right back. You're listening to the Cindy Cochran Show. We got Lieutenant Bob Berry here standing by with the law. We're going to talk about what it would take to call the police on your neighbors. So we'll be back with him. And Jimmy the C is going to be with us next segment as well, talking about the NCAA games that have happened right here in Houston. They got one more game to go. Or one more, you know what I mean. Anyway, we'll be right back on the Cindy Cochran Show.
The Cindy Cochran Show, the first daily talk show serving Montgomery County.
Have a legal question? Are you a resident of Montgomery County? Call 281-645-6344 to talk to a volunteer attorney from the Woodlands Bar Association. We answer the phones on the first Monday of every month at 281-645-6344 from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. to provide general legal information and information about legal resources to Montgomery County residents.
Howdy, folks. Cable Smith, host of the Lone Star Outdoors Show, inviting you to join me Saturday mornings from 7 to 8 on Lone Star Internet Radio for Texas' premier hunting, fishing, and outdoor talk show. So pour yourself another cup of coffee and pull up that stool a little closer to the old campfire, because if you can catch it or kill it in Texas, we're going to talk about it. That's right. Bucks and ducks, gobblers, monster bass, redfish, trout, and a whole lot more. Plus, you never know what outdoor celebrity is going to drop by, from Phil, the Duck Commander Robertson, to fishing legend Bill Dance, or everybody's favorite Uncle Ted Nugent. Heck, we might even mix in an interview and hear some brand spanking new Texas music from one of your favorite Texas musicians like Robert Earl Keen, Brandon Ryder, or the honky-tonk kid himself, Aaron Watson. Loved or hated but never ignored, it's the Lone Star Outdoors Show with me, Cable Smith, Saturday mornings from 7 to 8 right here on Lone Star Internet Radio on irlonestar.com.
The Conroe YMCA's benchmark adaptive programming for kids and adults is Leap of Faith. Leap of Faith is an equine-assisted therapy program serving children and adults with adaptive needs. The riders in our Leap of Faith program are working to address and manage specific aspects of their lives impacted by illness, injury, or disability. The Leap of Faith program has experience working with riders who are living with attention deficit or other hyperactivity disorders, hearing impairments, visual impairments, developmental delays or disabilities, autism, Down syndrome, multiple sclerosis, muscular dystrophy, head traumas, brain injuries, and paralysis. Our program uses horseback riding to develop self-confidence and self-esteem, to increase upper and lower body strength, assist in respiratory issues, and establish a trusting relationship between the rider and their horse. Not only do these activities aid in the physical and mental development of the rider, but they also foster self-reliance and independence. For more information regarding our program, to become a rider, or to volunteer with a great group of people, please call our Welcome Center at 441-9622 or visit our website at www.ymcahouston.org/Conroe.
In a world where everyone with a smartphone is a photographer, unique images still stand out in local newspapers, magazines, and on the internet. Writer and photographer Brad Meyer has gained a reputation for innovation and quality, specializing in an editorial approach to portraits and event photography. For information, visit bkmeyer.com or call 281-221-4812.
The Cindy Cochran Show. You ain't heard nothing yet.
And we're back on the Cindy Cochran Show. You're exactly right. You ain't heard nothing yet. Because we got Jimmy the C on the line with us to talk about the NCAA. I got it right. I said it correctly. And I have not watched one game. I haven't seen any highlights. I mean, like nothing. I didn't watch TV this weekend because it was too beautiful. All those people inside that arena, and it was too beautiful to be in there. It was so gorgeous this weekend. So you watched all of it, right, Jimmy?
Oh yeah, somebody's got to do it.
Somebody's got to do it. I know. And you have this, and you have this report, and people are waiting to see how you think about things and what you feel like. Was this an exciting tournament? Were there a lot of upsets? That's what I want to know about, the upsets.
Oh, yeah, it was exciting because of the upsets, making it exciting. But Villanova was pretty surprising because they crushed Oklahoma. And Oklahoma previously had crushed A&M, and A&M was supposed to be pretty good.
Right.
So,
but Notre Dame, who crushed Notre Dame? Wasn't that wasn't it a Texas team?
God. It was so long ago. Who crushed Notre Dame? They make me have to think back. There were so many games.
I don't know it. I don't know how you stay up with them. But Villanova and North Carolina are going to play, right? I got it right. I didn't even watch, but I did start reading about it to see. And I love college wins. I like the very end of it when whoever wins, they get so excited. They're not cool like that about how a lot of the pros are, but they are so excited about the win and the whole school, and probably a lot of drinking that night. It's a kind of a win-win for the drinkers because if they win, they celebrate by drinking. If they lose, they drown their sorrows in drinking. So it's probably
the good thing a Michigan team's not involved. Usually when a Michigan team loses or wins a national championship, they riot in Michigan. So there probably won't be any rioting tonight.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I wonder how the bars around there have been doing, and a lot of the people that are showing it on their screens, and everybody goes and eats and watches the games and all that. I just wonder what the uptick in the economy around the stadium and where people stay would be like. If I'm sure you didn't study the economics of it, Jimmy, I just feel sure about that. But it's just interesting to me how that did, because our little mayor was so excited about them being here, and has been. Oh
no, it's a big deal. It pours
yeah,
hundreds of millions of dollars into the economy.
Well,
the Super Bowl will be coming next year. So
yeah, now that's going to be something. I hope that we're still on the air with this show, and we can have Jimmy announcing what's happening in the Super Bowl and what's going on. That would be.
Did you say you hope you're on the air?
Well, you never know. Never know what's going to happen. But I just think it would be so much fun if we could just do a live remote. If we could just talk Richard into doing a live remote from the Toyota Center. That's where it would be, right?
Play-by-play.
Play-by-play.
They don't play football in the Toyota Center. If they did, it was arena football. They don't have that here anymore. It's been for like 20 years.
Is it in the NRGKLBA?
Yeah, that's
okay.
the name of it this week. It's NRG next year. It should be, who knows.
That's the Toyota Center. That's where the
basketball guys play.
Yeah,
the tall guys.
The tall guys, yeah. And yeah, that's right. Okay, I got it now. I'm like all straight now. It's Monday.
That they're playing basketball in the football stadium. I know that's confusing right now.
Exactly. But I'm so happy that you're there watching and listening for us, because I don't have a clue on that stuff. And I only know that the Astros were rained out for their very first opening game of the season, and they have to put it off. They're supposed to play New York.
Rained out or snowed out, I don't know, but so much for global warming. Hey, it's April and it's been snowing everywhere. They've had to cancel baseball games. Yeah. Global warming or
because of snowing.
Change or I don't know what the climate change. That's my favorite one. Yeah,
I love that because
every few months.
Yeah, and if you live in Texas, it's a lot faster change that happens here. But Jimmy, I thank you so much for being up and at it for us.
Who's going to win the game tonight? I'm going to go with Villanova.
Oh, you're going to go with Villanova? Okay, all right, let's see.
I'm tired of the establishment. North Carolina's an establishment team.
Well, you know how we're all so tired of the establishment. So,
that's right.
So
I'm anti-establishment.
You are with
Villanova.
Right, Villanova for you. And Bob, who are you going for?
Villanova.
Richard?
I don't care.
I'm so glad he didn't say something like
I would say North Carolina. I would say North Carolina because everyone's saying Villanova.
He's such a rebel. Okay, that's right. Yeah, no. He wants to just be different from everybody else.
Well, I'm surprised by the results of the Final Four. How much of a blowout they were.
What do you mean?
Like they're just the teams beat the other team by at least 15 points.
Oh,
and basketball is pretty bad. If you're at that high level of competition, I mean, they weren't. At one point, the team just gave up, or the other team was just far superior, which is nuts for the Final Four. I can understand that in the first round because they're playing worse teams, but I mean, these teams have played. I don't know how many games they play to get there,
right?
But clearly, their coaching was horrible, or their players were just fatigued. Cause,
they're just tired. They need to have a bigger break for that.
Well, they shouldn't be playing at that level.
He does have a point there.
Or they do need to be paid more, and that was the other question was like,
oh yeah, because they get paid to play in college. I didn't know that one.
Now, see, it's funny because like last I remember the last NCAA, the deal was about the pay. These universities are making a lot of money. The TV stations are making a whole lot of money off of them. And what do they get? What do the players get? Nada.
Kids get a free education and free Nike tennis shoes.
That's it. So there was a big deal about they need to get some kind of compensation. Some kind of compensation would happen. And so I just, that's the thought, the wonder, and you wonder what's happening under the table. And so I just, because there's always so much stuff goes on, but you don't want to think about colleges doing anything like that. No, they would. Why? They would never do anything like that. So we just, just suspend your belief of common sense and know that they're just doing it for the fun of the game. Yes, that's what it is. Okay, Jimmy, listen, we love you so much and thank you so much for being a part of the show. And hopefully you'll have a great day's sleep because he has to work at night. Okay, Jimmy.
Yeah, because I don't get to watch the Astros game. Thanks, global warming.
What? That's right. That's right. So it gave you one more day to think about it, and maybe you can record it or something. But okay, sweetie, have a good night. All right. Bye-bye. All right, that was Jimmy the C. Jimmy the C is his last name is Cirillo. That's why I call him Jimmy the C. And they are Italian, so it's just, it makes sense. It's after Jimmy the Greek, okay, everybody? So people say, why do you call him Jimmy the C? And I say, I have to give them that explanation. But Jimmy could be that guy, Guido, that would be saying, yeah.
Well, Jimmy should know that you can listen to the Astros play on the radio through your phone.
Oh, you can do it through the phone?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, so he could.
740. Whatever the sports channel is, you can stream it.
Okay. Do you have to go to iHeartRadio or?
I think they're Clear Media. Yeah, so I think they might be on iHeartRadio. But they have. I mean, even if they don't, they can go to their website and just click on Listen Live, and it'll work for you. I mean, that's
on their website. Okay. That's
how I had to listen to the Arrows when the Arrows played here because they wouldn't show it on TV. So I had to listen to that, and then I can talk to them about legal ways to watch.
About illegal ways to watch?
Yeah, illegal ways.
Well, Richard,
Root Sports has
my ears were covered.
I know. Bob's not listening anymore.
No, I hate that about Root Sports. I really don't. And it's changed too much. Like in the past 5 years, the channel for watching Rockets and has changed at least 3 times.
It has.
And
it's just so aggravating to try and be a fan.
Because you know it's bad when you call a sports bar and they don't know if they have the game. You know that's bad because you're like, wait a second, you guys y'all specialized in watching sports, and you guys don't know if you have the game or not. Like, no one really checks that out.
Speaking of that, I got to say this one thing before we go to break. It is aggravating when you go to this Mexican restaurant, and it's a big Mexican restaurant. A lot of people are eating there. It's not everybody sitting in a bar. And every TV they have in there, they have TVs like you're going to Buffalo Wings or something. TVs everywhere. And I go, could you turn that to Fox News? Just that one. Could you just turn that one? And she goes, I don't know if we can do that. And I said, look, nobody is looking up there. These are old games that they're playing. Could you please just put that up, please? And she says, well, I'll try. And they had 4 people trying to figure out how to do this remote. They finally get it on Fox News, and people started watching the news thing. Everybody doesn't want to watch the old basketball games. It'd be different, like the Rockets were playing or the Texans were playing, and you want to have that up on the screen for everybody. But wow. Okay, I just had to vent that. Now I feel better. What, do you feel the same way?
I do go to a Mexican restaurant, and they do use or play Fox News.
Which one is that?
On the North Loop.
What's it called? Tell me. I'll go there.
La Hisco.
Huh?
La Hisco.
La Hisco?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. Well, see, I go to the Pizza Shack because they play Fox News there, and I go to different places. I know that Luby's is now playing. They used to have all sports and all the monitors in Luby's, and so I asked them, could I, and anyway, they started playing Fox News, and then they have CNN on the other side. So it's just, and people watch. They sit there and watch them. The one that has the soap operas, they used to do soap operas at different places, and I thought that was funny. They'd have a following. People would come in there and eat so they could watch their soap opera. But anyway, that's real community. When you can ask and somebody changes the TV for you, it's just, how complicated it is with all the remotes and stuff. And so I felt so bad because they take it from the other one and fight over it. Anyway, okay, we got to go to break. You're listening to the Cindy Cochran Show. We're going to come back and talk about when to call the police. And I'm asking about when to call the police on my neighbors if they're doing something wrong. Okay, we'll be right back. You're listening to the Cindy Cochran Show. Don't go away.
The Cindy Cochran Show. Real reality radio.
Tune in every Sunday night right here on Lone Star Internet Radio for adventure, romance, thrills, chills, and everything vintage radio drama can bring. The Players Theater Company Old Time Radio Hour comes to you every Sunday at 7 p.m. with brand new episodes monthly. Our productions always feature actors, music, and sound effects performed completely live. And now you can enjoy seeing each new episode performed on stage at the Owen Theater in Conroe. Check out www.irlonestar.com for information about upcoming episodes. Relive the glory days of vintage radio drama right here with the Players Theater Company Old Time Radio Hour on Lone Star Internet Radio.
In a world where everyone with a smartphone is a photographer, unique images still stand out in local newspapers, magazines, and on the internet. Writer and photographer Brad Meyer has gained a reputation for innovation and quality, specializing in an editorial approach to portraits and event photography. For information, visit bkmeyer.com or call 281-221-4812.
Hello, Montgomery County. I'm Rachel Baldwin with Special Olympics Texas, Area 6. Are you a fan of courage? Are you a fan of determination? Are you a fan of acceptance, grace, and skill? Then you're already a fan of Special Olympics. Make it official. Volunteer, coach, and/or compete and be a fan of dignity and acceptance. The dedication of our Special Olympics Texas volunteers provides mainstreaming experiences for athletes with intellectual disabilities. You will touch the heart of another person, and it will move you in a meaningful way that lifts the spirit. Please visit the Heart of East Texas Area 6 webpage at www.sotx.org. Also, like us on Facebook to be a fan and be part of Special Olympics Texas.
Did you know there are more than 790 abused and neglected children currently in foster care in Montgomery County? Will you help make a difference? I'm Allie Stevens with Casa Child Advocates of Montgomery County. We train and support volunteers to be the voice of children in the foster care system. Kids removed from their home because of abuse and neglect, and we need volunteers just like you to advocate for these children. To learn more about becoming an advocate, please visit CasaSpeaksForKids.com. That's CasaSpeaksForKids.com.
The Cindy Cochran Show, the first daily talk show serving Montgomery County.
And we're back on the Cindy Cochran Show. It is Monday, and Mondays around here are fun because we have Lieutenant Bob Berry with us, and we just finished speaking to Jimmy the C about sports, and we're going to desperately try and get back Deanie Harmon because she was so amazing. You know, it's just her stories and all that. I feel like, girl, don't give everything away. You need to make sure you do a book. Just like Bob Berry, you should do a book. You guys have so many great stories of things that have happened to you. And I loved your exchange with her. And if you missed the Deanie Harmon show, then you go to our archives and you can listen to her and Bob exchange, you know, their code words and all that stuff that y'all have and your buzzwords that I go like, what are y'all talking about? That makes sense. Oh. But it was good. It was great to listen to y'all talk back and forth.
It was, and really enjoyed it. And when we were off there, during the commercials and everything, we sit there and told police stories that we probably couldn't tell on the radio. Either we couldn't say it, or the statute of limitations hasn't gone out yet.
Yeah, that's see, that should be the title of the statutes of limitations. Are gone. I think that you have got so many things in your head, and that when somebody like that starts talking and all that comes back, I think you probably try and push stuff back out of your head that you don't think about. But when somebody else starts declaring their sides of the stories and what they have been through, and you've been through the same type of stories, it's got to be so much fun. It's like reunion. And I love what she said at the end when she said, if I'm going down the road, even though I've been retired this many years, I'm going down the road and I see a police officer struggling with somebody, I would stop and jump out of my car, and, Superman ain't got nothing on me. She'd be right there and, taking that person down with them. And I can see her doing it. And I don't care how long she's going to be retired from something. I can see her taking them down. She could be intimidating. She's so pretty. She's beautiful and just as cute as she can be. And that person could take the person down. I would love to see that. If they have any video of her, we got to find out if they have video of her, like any dash cam video or anything like that. Those dash cam videos are so bad because they use the same VH tape over and over and over again, and they bring those tapes into Silver Rock, and they need us to expand on it to try and find out something that happened in the tape that was in the dark. And could you illuminate this part because we think this is where the keys were? Could you put a light? The stuff they'd asked, they didn't realize what they were asking. It was kind of pretty impossible, but it was fun to watch these things. They're just, and the drunk people in the car and the stuff they would say, and I could just watch for hours. But they were pretty staticky and pretty snowy. The tapes. Now I've seen some tapes and I go, man, what kind of camera did they use? Because it looks so good, and the technology has gotten so crisp that you can, of course, it's not the VHS anymore, Cindy. Yeah, that's right. Okay, I got it. Anyway, so the question to Lieutenant Bob was about when would you call the police on your neighbors? Now, here was what I did. We had a problem with their dog, and we're in a little cul-de-sac in the Woodlands, and the cul-de-sac in the Woodlands, the houses are like right next to each other. You may have some room behind it, but we're like just trying to get, touching each other's house. So you're very close to them. And when they have a dog that is howling at a pitch that humans can still hear, but you feel like the dogs all around the other neighborhood, it's hurting their ears. It hurts our ears. It was just one of those poor little things. Something was wrong with his throat, because when he would howl, it was a horrible, maniacal type of sound, and it would go through everything. Because our house sounds like a 747's going out, because everybody's got a fan in their room, and so there's a lot of noise that we try and do to keep out, to create a loud white noise. But yet that would pierce through everything. And we would just, walk around, and we'd go outside and say, shut up. And it would just, maybe in a little bit would interrupt, but it would come right back. So I wrote a letter. I thought, let me write a letter and put it on her doorstep. This was a very strange woman who never, she didn't come out. It was, and their house looked like it needed some help. And her husband had died maybe a couple of years earlier, and she just came very reclusive. So I just left say, could you please, because we're not able to sleep. We're having a really hard time sleeping. Could the dog come in the house, or is there something you could do to keep the dog from? Nothing happened. I'm sorry. We have big pane glass windows right behind, who I'm talking to. And Craig Campanella came by, and he was carrying his big breakfast, and he dropped it. I'm sorry, Craig. I'm sorry. I shouldn't laugh, but it was just the way he stood there, and like, my hands are still full. Even though I dropped something, hands are still full. I can't bend down and pick this up. Okay, so squirrel. Anyway, so I decided to write one more letter, and this next letter was more curt. It was like, if you don't control the dog, I'm going to have to call. I'm going to have to call someone, and I hate to resort to that, but we've got to get some sleep. So nothing ever happened. So that night I called the sheriffs, and I said, are you going to tell who called? So I think they'll know. If you've already sent 2 letters, they'll probably know who it is. Oh yeah, that's right. So they came, and I guess they talked to her, and then they came over to my house and said, you won't believe what we found. I mean, this lady is beyond hoarder, and everything, it just piles on piles that she's walking on. It was horrible. And now they've had to call. Now they're calling the
APS.
Is that, what's that stand for?
Adult Protective Services.
Oh, so not only they call, and the dog had become so not malnutrition. It looked strange, and it walked around. It looked like they had dressed it up for a horror movie, that the dog's gone wild or Walking Dead or something. That's the way it looked. And we didn't know what, the neighbors would talk, and we were just as gossipy as we were, because no one was so afraid to go up and knock on the door. We were just afraid of what it was. And the sheriff's department said, you should have been. They called in her daughter. Her daughter came and tried to help, but it was horrible. They were going to either condemn the house or what was going to happen. But I felt so, you feel like you took them down. You didn't mean to do that, but it was horrible. And the sheriff's department did come out for that.
In the county, as well as the city, have animal control divisions.
Mm-hmm.
You can call them, and they will come in and knock on the door and try to see these dogs and see what it is. If they're being mistreated, then it falls in under some ordinances that you can take care of that dog. And if it's really almost an animal cruelty issue where they're not being fed, they can be taken away. So there's processes that we have to go through, but yes, it can be done.
So pitiful.
Yeah. Even in the city, we have an ordinance that says that if they're constantly barking like that,
mm-hmm.
we can go in, notify them, and if it continues, then we can actually write a citation.
And the citation will just, they pay the money, and is the dog taken away from them?
No, it's only a citation. It's a Class C citation. But it does get their attention at that point. So we don't like to do that, but if we have to, if it's a consistent thing, then we can do that.
You know, and I did want to put Benadryl and some hamburger meat. I didn't want to do that. But I was just about, when you can't get any sleep, it's just like, dog, you need to go to sleep. You know, but the dog was in a lot of pain, you know, what we found out. And there was reason for it. But we couldn't see. We had a 3-story house, and you could see she kept everything, the shades down and everything. So we didn't see any movement in there. We didn't know, okay, maybe she's died, and nobody knows that she's died. So it was scary, and a lot of drama and all of that. But you do feel like now that we're spread out among people, you know, among the neighbors and all. And if, you know, I know the lady across the street had called on the dog that we were trying to figure out if we're going to keep it or not. It just came on our house, and it wasn't really our dog, but we fed it, and we found out. And if you feed a dog for 7 days, please, I say this over and over again because everybody I said this to said, I didn't know that. If you feed a dog over 7 days, it is your dog, your responsibility, your citation, your everything. It's going to be up to you.
You knew what that dog was when you saw it.
What do you mean?
Well, when you take it in and you start feeding it, and nobody else is feeding it.
Well, we just put some food out because we felt bad for it. We were trying to be animal politically correct.
Eventually, you will own it.
Yeah, and now see, you're right, because my husband kept saying, you give him anything. I said, I got to give him water because look at the thing. And look, it's so thin. He goes, it's going to stay. It'll come back. And all. So it did exactly that. And I was responsible. You're right. But there are other things that you can call your neighbor about. And we're going to talk about that, that Lieutenant Bob will, he's going to inform us on. And, what did that mean? What did that mean, Bob? Bob just put a note up. Okay, I'll tell you what his note said in just a minute. All right, you're listening to the Cindy Cochran Show. We'll be right back. Don't go away. What did you say to me?
The Cindy Cochran Show. You ain't heard nothing yet.
Hi, this is BJ Orner from Montgomery County Performing Arts Society. I'm here to remind you to get your tickets now for all the upcoming events that McPass has to offer. All shows will be held at the beautiful Crichton Theater in downtown Conroe. Call 936-441-7469 for your tickets today, or go to our website, www.mcpass.org, for more information. Hope to see you at the show.
The Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service has been dedicated to educating Texans for over a century. In 1915, the Extension Program was established under the federal Smith-Lever Act to deliver university knowledge and agricultural research findings directly to the people. Ever since, AgriLife Extension programs have addressed the emerging issues of the day, serving diverse populations across the state. Texans turn to Extension for solutions in horticulture, agriculture, 4-H and youth, and family and consumer sciences. Extension agents respond not only with answers, but also with resources and services that result in significant returns on investment to boost the economy. Join us Fridays at 1 o'clock for the AgriLife Extension Hour.
In a world where everyone with a smartphone is a photographer, unique images still stand out in local newspapers, magazines, and on the internet. Writer and photographer Brad Meyer has gained a reputation for innovation and quality, specializing in an editorial approach to portraits and event photography. For information, visit bkmeyer.com or call 281-221-4812.
Our community's animal shelters cannot absorb accidental litters of kittens and puppies. Approximately 80% of the animals entering our shelters will not make it out alive. Please help be a part of the solution. Please spay and neuter your pets. Many low-cost options are available. Visit texaslittercontrol.org to learn more. That's texaslittercontrol.org. And remember, real Texans don't litter. Please spay and neuter your pets.
The Cindy Cochran Show, the most opinionated talk show on radio.
And we're back on the Cindy Cochran Show. My guest tomorrow is going to explain to us the difference between a vet and a veteran. He's getting ready to start a new show here on Lone Star. And his name is, I'm going to look right at Richard. Richard's not going to look at Daryl
Douglas.
It's not Daryl Douglas, it's Douglas. It's his first name, Douglas. This is so bad. I had it sitting it's right there in my car on the dashboard. Douglas, starts with H. Oh, look, you thought I was going to say something bad. No, Douglas. Anyway, he came in here and he said, and Richard has to back me up on this, he said that he's getting ready to start a new talk show, and he's been listening to my show to find out how to do it. I couldn't tell whether Richard's
I'm not going down that road.
Yeah, I couldn't tell whether Richard's countenance kind of dropped at that point. Wait, she's your mentor, she's your example. Yeah, no, but he's going to be here tomorrow and talk about that, and his whole show is going to be on the vets, the veterans. And I told him, he said, there's a difference between vet and veteran. And Samuel found that out the hard way. He was in a program for the vets at school, and he was like third grade or something like that. And so he came home and he said, we've been rehearsing for these vets, and I haven't seen one animal yet. And I went, oh, honey, no, it's a veteran. It's a veteran. It's the people that go out and fight. He said, well, I was wondering why I hadn't seen the animals. And it was totally confusing to him. So he got that straight in his head. And the guy said, well, no, he says, but I have the definition of it. And we're going to be talking about how where veterans can go to find help. And I said, are you going to talk about the ones that go and have been staying in the woods? And I found about that. And he says, yes, and I'll explain to you why they will not ask for help. They want to do this on their own, and we're going to talk about that. And I said, that's great. So that's going to be exciting. I love the VFW that is over by the Rec Center, the Heritage Museum, and all that. I had no idea they had a detour going into Candy Cane Park, so you had to go around, and when around, there's a helicopter sitting up. I said, "There's a helicopter. What's the helicopter doing there?" And it looked so cool. So there's a lot of stuff that's right there. That if it's not on 45, staring me in the face, or has a big billboard, a lot of times I'm not aware of what's right behind the trees and what's going on over there. But there's so much that from the museum, the library here, the big public library, the flag park, and all those things that are happening and growing, and what's great is that Lone Star Community Radio has been a part of, so much of that and promoting it, so that, it's all in Richard's head. Richard gets to find out all these cool things, and you have to be on the air for so long, people start sending you stuff like, Cindy, we're going to be doing this, or we're going to be doing that, so be sure and watch for us. April 8th, 9th, and 10th, Red, White, and Tuna is going to be on at the Conroe Owen Theater. I'm sitting there pointing right as I can see it. It's going to be at the Owen Theater. And so that's, I've got to get more involved with the Owen Theater so that they can come over and talk to us about what's going on. I think through Dennis, we have a good connection.
And they are hilarious.
They are hilarious.
Yes.
I've heard so much about that. I've seen the articles and all that. I've never seen one live though. Is it kid friendly or is it more?
Oh yeah,
it is kid friendly. Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. That's what I want to know. I want to say too that my son has gone to see the Batman for the 4th time. He has found people or excuses or reasons why he needed to go see it again, but he's seen it for the 4th time, and I went to go see it. I took the kids to go see it. I got a call right in the middle of the show, and standing there in the hallway when I see people coming out now, and I missed the whole last half of it. So Cindy comes out, and now the new people that are going into the movie theater to watch the show, she gives away the ending. She goes, Grandma, you won't believe. And then she says this, and I went, ah, and people turn around like, I could kill you. She didn't know. And I said, what? So I was, I'm glad I didn't see it so early that it would have been killing me not to say anything to anybody. But see, if you read the comic books, Chad said, if you read the comic books, you know what the ending is. You know what's going to happen, and you know what they're talking about. So I had to be reassured by him that it wasn't. Is that really what happened? So you haven't seen it yet, Richard? No, okay, he hasn't seen it yet. And you haven't seen it? No big deal. It was good. The first half that I saw was good. So I don't know what's, the critics are talking about. It was done well. It's different. It's dark, but it was good, and the action parts were really good. And Cindy, I looked over her, and there was like 3 times she was covering her eyes because it was very intense. And so I asked my son, I said, how can you take your 3-year-old to go see this? He said he loved it. He loved every bit of it. So it didn't bother him. But then he told me there's an app. There's an app that says when to cover your kids' eyes during movie. You put the movie in, and they'll tell you at what time to cover your kids' eyes. When this starts happening, do it. He said it ruins the movie for you, but at least you know when to cover the kids' eyes. He said, what's better is when to go pee. And I went, what? He says there's an app that says when to go pee, and you put the movie in, it'll tell you when to go to the bathroom because it won't bother the concept or the script, how the script is written. This isn't going to be an intricate part. You can go ahead and go now. That blew me away. Okay, so now look at your app during the movie to see when you're going to go the bathroom. Well, I just want to make sure you knew about that and you had that in your mind if you want to look that up, and it's called whentogopee.com. So
I never would have thought of that.
Never in a million years. Only the millennials would have thought something like that. That's very cool. Okay, we'll be back tomorrow, and we are here every morning, Monday through Friday, the only live talk show here in Montgomery County. So that's every day of the week in here. So you guys come back, be with us, and it's going to be fun tomorrow. So don't miss a thing. We'll be back tomorrow. We want to say goodbye and thank you, Bob. Thank you, Bob Berry. Thank you, Jimmy the C. And you guys, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.